Moving on to the Friendzy advice column. So
Yay.
today we have a question submitted from Ashley in North Carolina, and she wants to ask the Friendzy, what are some creative ways to stay in touch with friends who live out of state or in different time zones? She said, I have kids and I can't travel to see my friends as much as I would like. So how do other people stay close? What about for
Um,
you? Because I know some of your best friends are in another
Cali,
state.
in California. I have one
Yeah.
that is in California, and we're a little slack right now. We'll say we got a little slack, but we're both single moms of young children. And throughout the pandemic, we set a time at night. Well, it was late afternoon for her and evening for me. And every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, we would get on Zoom. It didn't matter what was going on. Every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, we got on Zoom. And we probably talked more during the pandemic doing it that way than we ever did, because I would do is like she said, we would just catch up when I would go there or she would come here. And that was not often that we had the chance to do that.
Right.
So I would say set a time, and it's like you commit to it,
That's good.
because there are times where my son was interrupting, her son was interrupting, things were going on, work was, trying to text her. It didn't matter. We just sat with each other. She was cooking dinner. Like, don't
Mhm.
assume if it's a good enough friend, you don't have to be sitting and staring at each other. There were times where we'd be on the call and I wouldn't even see her. She'd be going around her apartment, but we were still, she was still talking like she would if you were sitting there on her couch, right? And her trying to get stuff done. So I would say that. And then I have another friend who we don't see each other as much, but we send gag gifts to each other. So we just keep
Awesome.
the laughter going by sending something that is funny. And that way it's a less time commitment friendship, but it's one where we connect on humor. And so that at least keeps you in mind and you have a story to tell. So there are two different types of ways I do it.
That is awesome. I love those. I was gonna say a phone date as well. I do like a FaceTime date with my friend who lives in Nashville, and same kind of thing with your friend. Like we will just set up the phone and just chit chat, but it's on the calendar and nothing else can interrupt it. We're not, also checking email or whatever else. And for both of us, I have got two kids and she has two step kids. They're both about the same age. So we schedule it during the work day where it's almost like
Mhm.
just easier because it's quieter and the kids are at school and that sort of thing. But we call it our phone date and we FaceTime. And it's just there's something different about seeing each other face to face and being able to catch up in that way.
Yeah.
And we try to do it every couple of months. Sometimes it'll stretch into 6 months, but whenever we chat, it's for like a good hour.
Mhm.
So I like using technology in that way. You were using Zoom, I was using FaceTime. And then another way that I stay in touch with a group of friends, I am still really close with all of these women that I went to summer camp with when we
Yep.
were kids. And there is about 13
Mary, what's the name
Camp
of the camp?
Marywood.
Marywood. See, I remember part of it.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And we are on a group chat. And so some days I will check my phone and I have 42 text messages. I'm like, what in the world? And it's always that group chat that has just gone off about something, like you said, something funny. Somebody sent a funny picture. We'll have like one of those time hops, or, Apple will send you a picture of something from your past and we'll share it, and then everybody's commenting on it or something funny will happen. And it's just the most random things that everybody shares on there.
Right.
And I think it's always fun and light and entertaining, and
Mhm.
so we all try to stay in touch with what's going on there, because sometimes I feel like at this stage of our life, if you don't do the funny stuff, the only time you're going to be in touch is when big sad things happen.
Right.
Like whether you're attending a friend's parents' funeral, or whether you're attending, or somebody has a big health scare or a big thing that happens, then you're in touch again. So that's why I like the group text, because it's just light, it's everyday random stuff. It's
And I well,
goofy.
Well, and I also think too, if you have an interest, like, because I'm a geek, and so geek conventions are part, Dragon Con is part of my life. And when I was younger, I would go to other conventions around the country, and I saw a group of women who that was their yearly. They were all geeks, and so it wasn't Dragon Con, but it was another convention where that was their time. That was their vacation together. They would
Cool.
meet at the convention and they would all be, rooming together, and that was their girl time. So that's another thing. It doesn't have to be like a convention, but I'm just thinking something consistent. Just stay consistent. So if it's once a year, if you're good friends, once a year is enough. But if
Mhm.
you need to do a trip where you are always at Lake Tahoe, you're always at Vegas, you're always in Florida, you're always wherever you are, that's the same spot every single year, same time, and it's just something that you always have on the calendar and you always look forward to, and then you have your girl time, and you just cannot allow anything to interrupt it, because it's a shame that we're more concerned about work and we'll shove everybody aside for work because they pay us,
True.
rather than we are about our own children, about our friends. Like, we need to treat our friends and children the same way we treat our employer. Is
I think
that
about that. I really do. I think about that with my close girlfriends because, if we live out life expectancy the way we plan, we're probably all gonna, be around longer than our partners are. You know what I
yes.
mean? For me
Stati
anyway, because I am
statis
married
it
to a dude.
statistics show, and my mother, I mean, like, the people I've seen in my life, women normally outlive men. And so there will be a phase of your life with your friends where your husbands will not be around, or you will have friends whose husbands are not there, and it slowly will. But yes, your lives will change as you move forward. But if you stay consistent, then they won't deter you as much as they might some others who stay out of touch.
Yeah, I'm
You
fully
know?
on board with being like the Golden Girls, and like
Yeah.
all move into Florida
I
and
love
having a
I love
apartment
I love
together.
I love Grant, but he's you're gonna outlive him. So, I mean, no offense, Grant, but but that's something else too, that the friends, that's one of the things, that the reason we're here is that it's okay for life's changes to happen, but just know more, that, have your life there for you, and not, don't don't abandon your friends for your husband. I will say that. Don't abandon your friends for your
Mhm.
husband, because when your husband's not there anymore, you're going to be left alone. And that's not where you
And
want to be.
my girlfriends, you included, Melissa Carter, fill a different void that he can't fill, right?
Right.
Like, we have a great marriage and he is my person, but my girlfriends and the conversations that we have and the conversations you and I have fill me up in a different way. Women,
Mhm.
I just feel more wired to communicate more
Right.
fully than
Right.
he ever wants to.
Well,
You
and
know,
sometimes, yeah, and sometimes your opposites attract, and when, because, I'm with women, and the women I'm with, there are times where they just don't get parts of me that friends get, and
yeah.
so it's okay for you to have more than one person fulfill who you are. Women were taught that your man's going to take care of everything or
Uh-uh.
fill a hole or something. It's like, no, you fill
No.
that hole with your life, and you choose your friend. But stay consistent. I would say, if nothing else, figure out what's best for you and your friend, but stay consistent with it always. Do not let it slip to the, because my friend and I in California, we did that for over a year every Tuesday night. And then there was a Tuesday night we couldn't make it. And that we have not gotten back on track since then. And that was several months ago.
That's
So
hard. Yeah, once you break the
once you break the
pattern.
cycle, then you
Yeah.
oh, well, this Tuesday night, no, don't make an excuse. But if you have any questions for dear Friendzy, Melissa at thefrenzy.com and Jen at thefrenzy.com. I do love this segment.